Kaukapakapa. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. I've got my stout that I've just pulled from the keg. Decent creamy head, but I don't know, all my beers get a creamy head when I've been pouring from the picnic tap. But anyway, let's dive in. Yep, it's delicious. Probably not super boozy, turned out under 5%. Which is really good. So it's quite quaffable, and yeah, I used to drink quite a bit of these in the UK. It was my go-to drink down at the Star in Godalming, my favourite pub. Anyway, I digress. What's been happening this week? Well, school holidays into my second week. Managed to knock out 3. There's my dodgy thumb. Cut it on an onion. Well, knife and an onion. So I've done the Doppelbock. I did that today. I had another go at the Swartz beer for various reasons, and also I knocked out, what else did I knock out? Oh yeah, Pilsner. So the reason why I had another go at the Swartz beer, there's actually nothing wrong with it. That's the SJ Pour Challenge beer. It tastes really delicious, it's refreshing, it tastes like, to be honest, I don't think I've had many black lagers. The closest thing I can think of is something like a Monteith's black beer. Anyway, it's black, it's refreshing, but it kind of had a very dry aftertaste. There's just not a lot there. I mean, it's cold, it's clean. There's actually nothing wrong with it, except there's no aftertaste that I was after. So I kind of wanted to add something to that. So I had a bit of a clean out of some of my grains, and I worked out what I had, and I added some specialty grains, which I won't go into. We'll see how it turns out. And yeah, I tweaked it, so hopefully it will have a bit of an aftertaste. I suppose you run the risk of heading into ale territory if you throw too many grains at a lager. Might be too malty, but anyway, had to go with my stir plate, which I hadn't used. I remember my novice days, which was probably only about 6 months ago. I ended up trying to rehydrate on a stir plate some dry yeast, which there was nothing wrong with that, but it was a complete waste of time. So I finally used the stir plate to harvest and get the liquid yeast cranking. You might recall I had some problems with that WLP838 Southern German Lager yeast last time, probably because I didn't follow the instructions and I just direct pitched it. I didn't make a starter for it, and I think definitely the starters worked. Yeah, enjoying the stout, so hopefully you've had a reasonable week, and yeah, I'm enjoying mine. Crap weather, haven't been out fishing, but plenty of home brewing, so I can't complain. So yeah, here's to another week of Daddy Daycare, and hopefully I'll have some good news on those beers in the fermentation chamber. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Slancha. This bit of plywood, which I commandeered from the child security gate, and a couple of cutouts there, which means I can actually fit a couple of 3-gallon as opposed to this 5-gallon PET carboys. So what it means is I can actually ram that fermentation chamber, which is a glorified fridge with an SDC 1000, ram it full of lagers. So I've got currently I've got just the straight Bohemian Pilsner, and I've got the Swartz beer, and just finished up a Doppelbock, and I've split that into 2 batches. They're exactly the same, and they'll fit in the spare slots there. So we're just underletting here, water going in is the late 70s, and we're going to want to be mashing in the late 60s. Of course, all the measurements in Celsius, and yeah, so we're going for a really sweet wort and low fermentables. That's the plan anyway. Our tea is just heating up again, and our mash is sitting probably a little bit below where I want it to be, but yeah, we're probably aiming for about another couple of degrees higher. But yeah, full body mash, we'll just leave that to sit, and then we'll recirc once the HLT is back up to 10. Alright, mash pH of 5.1, which is surprising. That's a lot lower than I've ever had it. Obviously putting in the acid malt helped, and starting to get some of those the water chemistry right. Right, some nice clear wort there. As you can see, it's got quite a copper hue. It's probably due to a few specialty malts I added, and we are now up to mash out temp, so a little bit lower in the mash tun. So yeah, we'll get that, probably might end up batch sparging today, get that over to the boil kettle. So I've just taken a bit of water off there, and this is a trick that mate Dave taught me, just to extract the colour and not a lot of the bitterness. We're just going to sparge over the top of our specialty dark grains. Decided to make a yeast starter this time, and I'm reusing that Southern German lager that I had. So I saved a bit in an old bottle, kept it. I've had it in the fridge for the last month. Made up a yeast starter, and yeah, finally fired up my DIY stir plate that I had. And I would be using a flask, but I had one and then I smashed it. So anyway, the Pyrex will have to do. Looks pretty viable. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll be able to pitch that into the Schwartz beer, and we'll get some bubbles tomorrow. Cracking away. That was about 6 hours after I pitched the yeast, and yeah, that's been a worthwhile experiment. Reusing the yeast, a lot cheaper doing it that way, and yeah, it kicked off real quick. So